I kind of forgot that I had a YouTube channel for about a year, but we're just going to pretend that that didn't happen and hope for the best that it doesn't happen again. I have luckily remembered right on time, or at least almost on time, to talk about GMTV's new lineup. Initially, I was planning to rank all of them in order of how interested I'm in them. However, seeing as there's so many of them, that would be very difficult to do. Moreover, it would be so difficult to decide which one would be in place 18 compared to what would be in place 19. Especially if I feel sort of similarly to so many of them, that would just be way too difficult. So I've decided to go back to my trusty tier list. This one was actually made by one of my friends who also has a YouTube channel, and I'm going to link to it in the description. But they made it, and then I just adjusted the tiers to better work for me. So let's look at those tiers before I inevitably start yapping and there's nothing that can stop me. First we have the concerned tier, which was made for one specific show that I could not in good faith put anywhere else. Then we have the not for me tier, because in this day and age, there is no reason to watch something that is not your cup of tea, because there's way too much diversity in QLs. Then we have the depends tier. Honestly, I'm well aware that a lot of these pilots are made with $2, a corn chip, and a dream, and they do not reflect on the final product at all. And therefore, there's a couple of shows that I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt that maybe I would change my mind once the actual official trailer comes out. Then there's the get so check it out tier, which is for shows that I'm interested in and I will most likely check out, unless something really gets in my way to do so. Then we have the well, that's exciting. From now on, it's all shows that I'm genuinely really excited to see. Just my level of excitement differs. I am excited about the shows in this tier, and I will most likely watch them. Then there's the I Need This Now tier, which is full of shows that I'm extremely excited about, and I can't wait to get them. And of course, then there's the Got tier, which is only for the shows that truly I need Jimmy to release not today, but quite frankly, yesterday. And since there's so many shows that I have to talk about, let's just get going and hope that I can keep this relatively brief. Starting off, we have Ditto, Milk Love's new show, which I have decided to put into Well, That's Exciting. I'm excited that Milk Love have a new project. This is a Snap 25 production, or at least the director has done stuff with Snap 25, and I've quite enjoyed them. I'm interested in Milk and Love's characters, and I generally really like the vibes of the show. And most importantly, I'm definitely here for Piploy being hot and evil. Then we have Bake Love Feelings, which I unfortunately have to put into Depends. I really am sort of two minds about this show. Firstly, I quite enjoy Vio and Mim's chemistry, and I really like the dynamic in the show. However, my problem is with the storyline itself, which didn't really grip me. And since this is set in the same universe as Wellstar XOXO, I think I might need some time to get used to Vio playing this character, because I'm used to people playing her. Then we have Wish Upon a Star, which I'm also going to put into Well, That's Exciting. The show looks cute. I like the dynamic of the two main characters, even though I'm not really familiar with the actresses. And I love the time travel plot. I like the idea of, going all the way back and doing everything to change yourself just to make sure that she gets to live. I just think that's really good. Moving on to Moonshadow, which is Emmy Bonny's new show, and I'm also going to put that into Well, That's Exciting. I think it's a good thing that Emmy and Bonny's new show is something so totally different from us. Honestly, my jaw dropped when I realized that this was a sugar mommy, sugar baby situation. In general, I think it's a good thing that we're getting a variety of JLs in different tones and vibes. I'm not sure if the sort of dark, sexy tone of this one is for me, hence why I have put it in this tier, but I do think that I am very likely to watch it once it airs. If anything, because I just, I love film, and her as the really hot ex of Amy's character just, owns me. Moving on, we have Enemies with Benefits, which is Jan Jinjing's new show, and I am going to not be ashamed when I move it all the way up to God tier. Honestly, I love Jan. She is one of my favorite GMTV actresses, and I've been waiting for her to be in an actual GL for the longest time, especially since she's the first queer female character that GMTV has ever had, all the way back in Sotus. And I'm also equally excited to see Cheese and Kapuk as a side pairing. And while I know that this plot isn't something we haven't seen before, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's the reason why Friends with Benefits plots are so popular even now. And I just thought that the show looked like it had a really clean production, which is expected from Parp D studio. So in general, I'm really looking forward to it. I just had a blast watching the trailer, and I have not stopped watching it ever since it came out. Now we have Love's Echoes, which is Jun and Munich's first show as a main pairing, and I'm going to put into I Need This Now. I thought the trailer for the show was really polished. It looks like a really emotional storyline, and the trailer managed to portray that perfectly. I love a good disability storyline, and what is interesting about this show is the fact that apparently Munich herself actually knows sign language, which wasn't something that anyone knew when they were offered the show, so it almost seems like it's fate that they got it. Moving on, we have Oxytocin, which I'm going to put into Depends. It's a me problem, honestly. I'm just kind of done with high school shows to the point that I hardly ever watch them. However, since the trailer to this show looked really good, I'm willing to reserve judgment and decide once I actually watch the official trailer. And now we have the reason the concerned tier exists. Where do you even start with her? Honestly, I really wanted to get excited about the show. It's Namtan Film and it's now 25 and I love both of those things, but this show just looks incredibly transphobic. Like, I would love to see a trans protagonist in a GL or a BL for that matter, but honestly, this one just looks like it's going to be extremely transphobic. The way the author has been talking about this on Twitter really hasn't helped its case. And honestly, I just don't think it's worth even considering giving it a watch just on the off chance that it's not transphobic. I have Serpent Love, which I'm immediately going to put into Not For Me and move on from this. I'm actually one of the people who likes to watch gmmtv's non-QL shows and often finds them very interesting, but this one just looks like it's boring, I'm sorry. We got asked in a water-based show, but at what cost? Then we have Overdose, which I'm going to put into I Need This Now. Honestly, Two with a Chainsaw was enough to get me to consider this, but also, I just love a good murder mystery. This one where she's, blamed for something that she didn't do, and she has to find out who did it. Looks amazing, incredible. It's also Snap 25. Super excited. Then we have Mr. Kill, which unsurprisingly goes into I Need This Now. I love a good murder mystery, and this one seems really fun with the murders following what happens in that webtoon. Like the dynamics of the two characters, and I think it's really cool that dude did all the art for the show. As I kept watching this trailer, I just kept going, are we sure that this is bromance? Are we really sure that this is bromance? Because I feel like there's a fine line and it has been crossed. Jokes aside, I know GMTV has been getting some critique for, having more bromance shows. And I think that this would be more of a problem if, there were so many of them compared to the BLs we were getting, which I don't think is the case. So at least it doesn't bother me in this show. Now moving on to the show where this does bother me, we have Arrest in Action, which I'm going to put in Not For Me. There's two reasons for that. The first one is that the trailer just kind of didn't wow me. The second one is that I'm a little bit annoyed at the existence of this show. Obviously, if Sky and Nani don't want to do a BL, I think that's their own decision, and I don't really want to force them, nor do I care to, honestly. But I think if you don't want to commit to being in an actual BL path, you can't get the benefits of being in one just with a bro hyphen. High School Frenemy is fine, because School 2013, the original show it's based on, is also a bromance, and I'm even willing to close my eyes for Woo, but honestly, I cannot do it for this third show, especially since it has such a clear BL plot. Now I have Scarlet Heart, which I'm going to put into Guess I'll Check It Out. I'm vaguely familiar with the plot of the show because of the Korean version, which is really popular. However, I have never actually seen it myself. Since I want to experience the story, I might as well do it with actors that I already know. Moving on, we have I Will Always Save You, which is Jimmy and C's new show, and I'm going to put this into I Need This Now. Honestly, I wasn't that excited about this initially and might have even put it in the lower tier. However, then I learned that it's a JoJo show and that immediately changed the game. Always really vibe with the concepts of his shows, and I think he's very good at getting actors to do stuff that I didn't think them capable of, so I'm very curious to see what he's going to do with Jimmy and C. Really loved C's character in this. I think that he gets to do something really, really fun. I kind of wish that Jimmy wasn't typecasted into the type I think that he plays all too often, but I'm willing to overlook this because overall the show looks really good. Then we have The Invisible Dragon, which is First Encounter's new show, and I'm going to put this into Guess I'll Check It Out. I'm going to get cancelled for this, but First Encounter are one of my least favorite gmmtv pairings, so they alone are not enough to sell this show for me. However, I'm really interested in this plot about traditional dancing, which is also tied to family values, so I'm definitely going to give it a try for that. Then we have Unlucky Bay, which I'm going to put into Depends, because university shows are really hit or miss with me, and I often don't watch them. But I think the plot of cursing the wrong person sounds really fun, so I'm going to wait until the official trailer comes out and decide then. Then comes Cupid's Ghost, just to prove that I do have bias, because I'm going to put this into Well, That's Exciting, even though, quite frankly, the trailer kind of wasn't it. Clearly, a lot of work needs to be done, but the concept itself sounds fun, and I love Earthmix, so I'm very likely to watch this show. Then we have How to Survive My CEO, which I'm really not the target audience for. Honestly, there are so many HR violations in the lineup this year, and this is not the one I'm choosing. I like office romances, but I don't like boss-employee romances, so I'm just gonna give this a pass. Sorry, Jungdunk. Then we have 17 Spring, which I'm going to put into Well, That's Exciting, even though I'm a little concerned by the topic it's going to cover, especially with New Siwaj as a director, who in general is very hit or miss for me. However, I think that it's a show that should exist, and one of the leads seems, very well spoken, and also, side pairing, Pot Papang, I can't say no to that. Then we have Bone Prem's new show, Plan B to You, which I'm going to put into Guess I'll Check It Out. And I know that I just said that I don't like boss employee romances, so I look like a hypocrite right now, but I feel like there's a lot of layers to this one, because, he joins this company as an intern, to take revenge, which I feel like immediately offsets the dynamic of this. So I'm generally excited to see this one. Then I have Roommate Chaos, which is also not for me. Honestly, I love a good ensemble show, but I didn't care for this trailer. It's a shame that Mark Ohm are in yet another show that I don't care to watch after Sweet Tooth Good Dentist. One day I'll get to see them, I swear. Next we have When Oranges Fall. If I have to be honest, I don't even remember what the show was about, except that they were set in high school, and I don't care to find out, so it is what it is. Then I have Gunshot, which immediately goes into God tier, because there is nowhere else that it could be. I love Afghan, and I've been dying to see them in a concept like that. I think that they're both going to kill it. Pun not intended. I also love Ompawat playing the bad guy. I think he's incredibly good at that. So it's clearly not for the faint of heart though, because it's going to be extremely triggering. The pilot didn't really have a clear storyline, it only had a concept, but a concept like that paired with Afghan is honestly enough to get me excited about it. Then I have Good Boy, which is also not for me. And I know that I said that I'm excited about a GL that has a very similar plot to this one, but for some reason this trailer just really wasn't doing it for me, even though I do like time travel. Considered putting this in Depends, but ultimately decided that I really didn't care enough to do that. Then we have Lovers and Gangsters, which immediately goes to God tier. Frankly, I think this might be the show that I'm the most excited about from this lineup. I love period dramas, I really do, and though I was really disappointed with Memoir of Ratty this year, I'm willing to give gmmtv another chance because this just looks sick. Giving West Side Story, and I'm here for it. Horse Book are one of the gmmtv pairs that I think have a lot of potential, but they've been getting bad scripts for years, so I'm excited to see them in something cool like this. It looks like Book's character is trying to infiltrate the rival gang and then falls in love with the man who killed his dad, supposedly. Messy and juicy, it's what I'm here for. And also great and bright. Oh my god, they look amazing together. Then we have 21, which I'm going to put into Depends. I really wish I could place it higher because it's Mark and Junior's first show as leads and I've loved them since Midnight Museum. However, I'm not necessarily a fan of the 21 Day Theory. Moreover, I think that this is a concept for a show can exhaust itself really easily. I'm willing and hoping to be proven wrong though. Then I have My Professional Boyfriend, which I'm going to put into I Need This Now, because I really need this now. I love Winnie Satang. I've loved them since My School President, where they stole the show from me. And I love them even more this year in That Summer, which is my favorite junior TBL in quite some time. I love a good fake relationship, especially when money is involved, because it makes it so much messier. I think it was a good call for them to switch roles because apparently initially Satang was gonna play the rich guy again and Winnie the poor struggling one. And I think it's good that they did not get typecasted the same way they were in that summer. And we get to see Satang play the, struggling person who can't stop gambling and has so many debts that he can't clear off. I guess my only complaint is that I wish that Satang's character had actually been a hooker because I think that's what would have made it truly messy. If you remember, I'm gonna put into Guess or Check It Out because I love an amnesia plotline. I love Barcode. I'm glad that he's getting a main role. And overall, this show seemed kind of fun. And here's another HR violation that I'm really not here for. Bill and A. Barker is also not for me, which I think is a huge shame just because I love Oh Boom and I've waited for them to get their main show for so long. But quite frankly, they're not enough to get me to sit through something that is so not for me. Then we have Right Here Again, which honestly I think owns my soul already. I love an amnesia plot. I love Chris and Singto, and I think they're gonna do such a great job at it that is gonna wreck me completely emotionally. And since the director is Piwa, who did Be My Favorite and Good Old Days, I'm fully expecting to get another masterpiece from him here. Then I have Weirdo 101, which is also sadly not for me. One day I will get to also see Kim in something. It really is such a shame that, they started from school, went to university, and then went back to school. Wild choice, I feel like. Then I have Match Point, which I'm putting into Depends only because of the prospect of having Chimon and Singh be a pairing together. It was kind of alluded to in the trailer, but not confirmed, and if they're not a pairing, I honestly don't care to watch the show. But if they are, you bet your ass that I will at least try, especially since I actually like the concept of the sports BL. I also love tennis. I've played tennis myself. I just wasn't sure about the main pairing, I have to be honest. Upon further reflection and while editing, I've decided that I'm actually a lot more into the show than I thought I was, so I'm going to bump it up to Guess I'll Check It Out. Then we have View Maniac, which easily goes to I Need This Now, because I really do. The trailer seems so fun. I loved William and Nest in it, and I'm glad they're doing something so different from Tempo. Honestly, that last scene, hysterical. I was laughing my ass off, honestly. I hope the show is as exciting and as funny as this pilot. Then I have The Spooky Love Tale, which I'm going to put into Depends. I love both Pert Santa and Mondu, especially Mondu. However, the trailer itself gave me nothing, but I did hear that the webtoon it's based on is apparently really good, so it might just be a case of a very cheap and poorly made pilot trailer. And in that case, I'm willing to wait until the final one to decide how I feel about it for real. Then we have High and Low, Born to Be High, which I'm also going to put in Depends, only because I feel like the trailer didn't give me enough information about what it was going to be about. From my understanding, it's like a new installment of a really popular Japanese series. It seems cool enough. I just wish to know more about it. I think it's a chance for all of these actors to get to do something different. And because I kind of forgot about the Love of Siam, I'm just going to put it last. It easily goes into I Need This Now because I honestly love a good musical, and I'm especially excited to see one based on one of the, if not the oldest pieces of Thai media that features a queer couple. And I love Fort and Gemini both as actors and as singers, so I think that they were a good choice for this. I opted against talking about Reset because the show is cancelled anyway, so there is no reason to. I am interested to see what gmmtv will replace this project with because I really didn't think they would bother to do that. And we've now come to the end of this video that honestly isn't as long as I thought it would be. Since I managed to get it under 20 minutes, that is honestly a win-win in my book. Bye bye and see you soon, hopefully sooner rather than later. This time I won't promise to have a script next time because I most likely won't.